How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Friday, October the 10th, 2025. It's your man Big D, and I'm back with another one. Want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to show support to my son and I. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Well, family, I'm back with another video. And in this video, we have a young man that is basically reacting to Brittany Renner, uh, who appeared on some type of podcast or whatnot, and she's basically saying that men who judge a woman based on how many potential alleged sexual partners that she has slept with, in particularly as it pertains to men, that is not a good enough reason to judge a woman. So basically, Brittany Renner was saying, from my interpretation of it, that a woman can go out there and sleep with every Chad, Brad, Pookie, Ray Ray, Nook Nook, Lil Dank, Mike, D, John, Wade, all these different guys. And most of the time, they not wearing no barriers, ain't no condoms on. They letting all these men just bust up inside of them. And she's trying to say that regardless of all of that, a man should not be wary about dating a woman who saw no need to protect her womb, saw no need in being more choiceful and selective in the type of men that she was choosing to lay down with. So what I'm going to do, fam, I'm gonna go ahead and run this video. I'm gonna add my commentary along the way.
Men fixate a lot on someone's past
Another poor attempt on trying to get a man not to look at a woman's past. Viewer discretion is advised.
because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman. You don't have that power.
Brittany, oh Brittany, when I said the other day that the money was drying up for you, I didn't think it was drying up this bad. You know just as well as everybody else knows. The right relationship, the right situation can fuck you up forever. And it's not unique to men or women, it's unique to people. You get with the wrong person, they could put your ass in a blend that you probably would never get out of.
You don't think
A man cannot
are
permanently
damaged?
taint me.
But a lot of women are they've had relationships that have completely changed their personalities, the way they trust a man, the way they view men in general. I feel like you can be in a messed up relationship that can really mess you up.
Brittany, in order for your logic to be true, that means trauma can exist. It cannot coexist with the way your brain is processing this type of information. And I'm 100% sure you wouldn't agree to that. Because we all know at some point in time, most people have faced some kind of trauma that have shaped them to be the people that they are today.
I feel like when it comes to past and a man focusing on what happened 5 years ago or what man you slept with or what guy you were with, that is thinking when this man stuck his penis in her, she no longer has value.
I see what Brittany's doing. Nah. There's no rebranding now, Brittany. We don't watch you make an ass of yourself for the last Lord knows how many years. You went from writing books on telling women how to play men. Then you got with PJ, had a baby. You thought you made it. You didn't. Then you pulled another play and made a mockery of someone's religion by cosplaying as a Muslim woman, getting with Kevin Gates. And now you're back in the streets trying to rebrand yourself so you can get another opportunity with a man of value. Brittany, we're not falling for this shit again. It's not gonna fucking happen. A woman's past is extremely fucking important to a man, just like a man's future is extremely important to a woman. That's how the fucking game works. And if you don't like it, Brittany, cry me a river, bro.
We're the whores, but who are we all fucking? But the truth of the matter is, it's like, if you meet somebody that makes sense, whether they have a kid, whether they've been with someone publicly, why miss out on potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out?
See, Brittany, what you're explaining is a normal girl that had normal interactions and she just so happened to get the short end of the stick. You, on the other hand, are not that girl. You were intentional about everything that you fucking did. So here are the repercussions and the price that you have to pay based on your decision making and the behavior that you displayed for us to watch online for X amount of years. Now you want to get on a podcast, and I knew this was gonna fucking happen. Now you get on the podcast trying to get the waterworks going, trying to, get the crack in your voice so we can feel sorry for you. No, Brittany. You got $11,000 in your son's bank account fucking with PJ. Go figure it out somewhere else. We are not buying this shit no more from you, Brittany. Go on about your fucking business. Y'all keep it change.
So, family, there are a litany of things that Brittany said that don't make no damn sense. So the first thing that I know was when she said, "Well, it don't matter if a girl slept with this many guys or whatnot and it didn't work out. That's not important." No, it absolutely is important. Let me tell you something, family. It says a lot about a woman who, when she was younger, laid down with losers, gave her most prized possession to dusty ass dudes. And then now we fast forward to her in her older years. Now she feel like that she's more valuable now than she was when she was 23. No, it don't work like that. Your value is in your youth. Your value is in your youth, ladies. You can't that's just like saying that that you willing to pay top dollar for a car that's 40 years old versus one that's only per se 20 years old or 10 years old. So my thing is it absolutely does matter. If it's okay, if a woman don't see anything being wrong with her laying down with regular ass dudes, loser ass dudes. And I know what women gonna say. Oh, well, back in the day, everybody didn't have their stuff together. Okay, well, guess what? That don't mean that you supposed to sleep with them. If a dude ain't got his stuff together, maybe you need to hold on to your prized possession until you run across one who does have his stuff together. Because this is what happens. When women go out there when they're younger and they start collecting bodies, getting ran through by these no account dudes that ain't got nothing for them but hard meat and bubble gum. And then fast forward some 20 plus years later, when she meets a good dude, a dude that's worth his salt, that even perhaps is even sharing some of his resources with her, she'll take him for granted. That's right. He'll say, "Oh, I got a good dude." Now, in her mind, she know that them other sorry ass dudes didn't do nothing for her. Them other sorry dudes didn't do nothing but just pipe her down. Didn't have nothing for her but some hard meat and bubble gum. And family, as I always say, they always out of bubble gum, but got hard meat in boatloads on standby, ready to issue it out. So these women, they lay down with these mediocre men, and then fast forward, years and years and years later, they meet a good dude. Now they know that this man is a good dude because they can say, okay, well, damn, um, look out for me. He's loyal. He shares resources with me. In comparison to these other lame ass dudes who I was just, basically just getting smashed by, she'll lose herself. She'll start blurring the lines because you can have this good dude that's doing all these things for her. She'll find a way to self sabotage. He will commit a self inflicted wound and find a reason as to why this good dude that did way more than these other losers ever did, why he need to be doing more. Why some place where he falling short at. And unfortunately, man, that's just the way it goes. Especially when you starting to talk about women who have had multiple sex partners. So Brittany Renner is absolutely wrong in her mindset when she says that it don't matter how many men that a woman slept with. It absolutely does matter. Because if a woman is so easy to allow herself to just be ran through, how do you think that she is going to view you, my good sir? When you come along and want to show her the finer things of life, show her, hey, listen, I can perhaps maybe look past your indiscretions, but I need to know that you're not gonna do something to interrupt my peace because, man, gentlemen, let me tell you, the only way you gonna find a woman who ain't been touched on nowadays, if you go get yourself a virgin. And where you gonna find a virgin at? I don't know. But to keep it reasonable, to keep it logical, you ain't finna find, on average, a woman nowadays who haven't had her fair share of sex partners. So you just have to wonder and hope that, okay, the dudes that she was laying down with, were they decent dudes? And if these dudes are such decent dudes, why ain't she still with them? Or perhaps, I'm not saying, even if you're not, let's just say, even if you're not a virgin, ladies. But let's just say if you 40 something years old, let's just say you only caught like 3 or 4 bodies. Okay, maybe that's acceptable. But if you 40 something years old and you done caught more than a handful of bodies, well, that's a problem. Especially if now you equate and you take into account that the dudes that you laid with, they weren't decent dudes. They was regular degglers who probably didn't deserve to get no poo nanny. See, that's the problem, ladies. Y'all always so quick to give out y'all little box to dudes that, for whatever the reason, you're attracted to them physically, or they make you laugh, or maybe they might buy you a drink at the bar, or they might take you out to eat. Next thing you know, he's getting clapped. When really and truly, this dude, you ain't made this dude put in no work at all. He had to put in minimal effort, but then when a good dude come along, you want to make him jump through hoops. And that's what happens when women just recklessly just go sleep with any old type of dude, any old piece of meat will do. It adds to her delusion. And then Brittany Renner had the nerve to say, well, why would you want to miss out on the love of your life because she done been touched on by all different types of characters? Well, you know what, my good sir, I'm gonna tell you why. You want to pass by on that type of woman because that type of woman may bring you more hell than peace. That type of woman may not be able to be saved. That type of woman probably gonna be masculine. That type of woman probably not gonna how to communicate with you. You gonna always feel like you in a tug of war with her. So you gotta understand that there are a lot of consequences that come along with a woman who done been touched on by a variety of men. That's just what it is. There's no escaping it. There's no cleaning it up. And I don't care what the young sister Brittany Renner had to say. I don't care what her thought process is because really and truly, she moving like a modern woman. You can't listen to her. Look how she moving. Wholesome women move in certain types of ways. Now, I'm not gonna sit up and say that you say wholesome, you say, oh, women nowadays ain't like the women of of the old days. Now, let me tell you something. What women are doing nowadays, the women back in the old days was doing it too. It's just nowadays women are a little bit more they're more open with it nowadays. They don't pretend they don't show a little bit of modesty. They just they let it all hang out. Wherein perhaps back in the day, when the older women that back in the old times, they were doing the same thing. They were getting their cheeks clapped too, left and right. So it just wasn't they had a little bit more modesty with it. They cared a little bit more about being found out and then being told, and they're like, man, you a whore. And then we didn't have the internet. But nowadays, women don't care. In fact, they call each other hoes, whores. They brag about how much meat they getting. They talk about being they just not in the men, they're in the women too. So you have a lot going on in 2025. But to pretend that this type of mindset and the way that women are moving nowadays is something new, no, man, it's been going on since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. There's always been a thought throughout the century. It ain't just start happening now. So, gentlemen, my advice to you is this. You had better pay very good attention when you meet a woman and you come across the information that perhaps she done caught a whole, a couple bodies, more than a handful perhaps. Better pay attention because that could potentially determine how she gonna view and treat you. Ladies, I know when you young, you want, what I'm saying, you got the world in front of you. You feel like, man, I'm gonna be 22 forever. I got time. But what happens is along the way, ladies, you collecting them bodies. What happens when you in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and all you known for is being the town thought? How do you think that's gonna fare well for you? What is that gonna do to you mentally? And you know what? Another tad bit of information real quick. So they talking about when there's this narrative that they say that when a woman have multiple sex partners and it's unprotected and a man pretty much spray up the spot, this man is leaving his DNA deposits inside of a woman's body. That they're finding proof that they're finding a man's DNA inside a woman's brain from the from basically so basically, family, through sexual intercourse, it is found that in a study 63% of women who had male DNA in their brain was through sexual intercourse. So you got to think about this. It says the implications for women are great. When sperm enters a woman, it swims until it hits a wall and then seeps into her flesh. If it is in your mouth, meaning that if you're a throat goat, it can get into your nasal areas, behind your eyes, and even your inner ear. It then enters your bloodstream and collects in your brain and spine. You can never get rid of it. So when with every man a woman has sexual intercourse with, she absorbs his basically the parts of his sperm, which becomes a part of you forever. And they in this study, they even did an autopsy on a brain of elderly women, many who had been carrying male DNA for more than 50 years. So, with this startling and fascinating discovery, this is the beginning of understanding the true consequences of sexual intercourse. So, ladies, right there, that tell you right there, with every dude you sleep with and is unprotected, you are toting around that man DNA inside your body forever, potentially, according to the study. So there is a risk in all of this. There's a risk that it could affect the studies also reveal that when women get pregnant by perhaps their husband, but but the other men they had been sleeping with prior to the husband, and they slept with him unprotected. Well, guess what? His DNA could affect the outcome of her husband's child, his offspring. That's right. That's right. It said the studies also said that, concluded that. So, family, there are consequences for crazy behavior. That's just what it is. And make no beans about it. Whether you toting a man DNA for forever, or you develop an inability to pair bond anymore with the man you have. You sleep with a man And it's just no different from the other 50 guys you slept with. That's a problem. Also, if you start developing this mindset that, okay, well, if a man can do it, or I can do it too as a woman, ladies, yeah, you can do it, but it ain't a good look. So there are a lot of negative consequences with just sleeping around. And contrary to what the young sister, Miss Brittany Renner was talking about, oh, you just supposed to just overlook the fact that this lady that you pouring your resources into, that you are pouring your time into, that she didn't have multiple sex partners, you will be a fool not to find that concerning and consider the possible negative outcome. Because it seems to me that women that have had multiple sex partners, no matter how much you do for them, they ain't never satisfied. And it's going to always be something that you're not doing and that where you're liking. Even though you done far, far, far more for them than any dude they ever been with, even the ones that was blowing their bike out 6 ways a Sunday, they still gonna find a way to minimize what you're doing. That, my good sir, is a problem. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.